friends, how are you doing? It is Doc Hitchcock here to share with you another puzzle, or maybe even two. And what you have here is actually two different puzzles, very different puzzles made by, well, let's say designed by the same person, Juno, who we've had the pleasure of solving some of his other puzzles as well. And the reason I wanted to show both of these at once is we're going to do the solve for this one, which is called the Sequential Discovery Burr Box. And this one is called the Gravity Burr. And I wanted to show them together because you can see that they almost look identical. Actually, this one is 3D printed by another creator that was kind enough to get permission from Juno to remake his design, because the original one of these is made of wood, very much like this. And this is an original Juno. This is a 3D printed replica, because these he no longer makes. They're very sought after, quite expensive to get. Not a lot of them are for sale on auction sites. You definitely can't get it retail. This one is supposed to be relatively simple, but his puzzles are great because they have a satisfying type of solve and they work pretty much as they were intended to. And so a lot of people really like the quality of his puzzles. Anyhow, this one is a pure burr. This one that we're going to solve today is actually a sequential discovery puzzle, which you may not assume it could be looking at it from just a first glance, because it looks exactly like a traditional burr would look. So we are going to go ahead with the solve, and that means there's going to be spoilers, so you've been warned, and let's get into it. With a burr, you're tending to think that just by looking at that this is probably one piece, this is probably one piece, this is a piece, this is a piece, this is a piece, this is a piece, and there's 6 pieces. And you have to somehow figure out how to get them out, untangled, unlocked, and then put back together. However, that is part of the beauty of this puzzle, is that it is not that at all. So there are some pieces that you might think are one piece, which are actually 2 pieces. And there's actually some pieces that you think are 2 pieces that might be actually 1 piece. That's what I've already found out just by examining the puzzle, because if you look closely at the seams here, you can see that, let me see if I can get a little closer. You can see that these are truly separated. Those are 2 pieces. But when you look at this one, and this is probably more of an artifact of the 3D printing than it is in the wood puzzle would be. I haven't had the chance to look at the wood puzzle, but you can see that that doesn't look like it's very separated. It looks like it might be 1 piece. But the others, that looks like it separates, and that looks like it separates. You can actually see it's probably like, for instance, and this, I hope this isn't considered cheating, but if you take like a card, you can slide a card into the thing there, but here you can't, see? So that's why I believe there's some tomfoolery and some trickery involved in this, because I think that it's more than meets the eyes. And the other reason I think that is because when I was fooling around with it, trying to figure out how to get the first piece moving, I actually pulled a little bit and this came off. And so it's obvious that this is not 1 full piece. This is actually 1 or more pieces, because this and this are 2 separate at least. Now, I don't know, yeah, so see, this is separated 2, so that means that this is probably a separate piece, but this doesn't come off by just pulling. So I took this off, and now I already see that there's a tool here that we can use. So let's go ahead and pull that off, and this is another kind of hallmark of Juno's puzzles, especially, they're given that they're mostly made out of wood. He's used a lot of magnets, and so this is very, I can tell that this is a Juno puzzle just kind of by the design of the tool and the magnets. It has that type of feel of his designs that we've solved previously. So let's see. There's a little hole here, and then there's a bigger hole there. And if you can see in that bigger hole, let's see, can you see that? I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show you that because it gets away from the light if I, oh, look, I'm already moving it. This allows it to move. But anyway, this could probably go in this hole there. I don't know if that does anything, but it can go down in here too. So maybe it has 2 ways to use it. But before we try that, since we saw that moved, oh, see now on the opposite side, which is the opposite side of this piece, we can see that this piece was being held in by this kind of like peg here. So if we, now we can pull it off. And this actually might be a tool here. I don't know, but we'll set it aside. Actually, you know what? Oh, is that another hole? Yeah, so there's another hole here now. And another hole here. So we're starting to find holes all over the place. So now I'm looking at this. This looks like it actually fits into, it fits exactly into that larger hole. So the smaller tool goes down in there, but so does this large one. So maybe if I put them both in, let me see what happens if I put them both in. So that's in there now. Oh, and by the way, I noticed that there's a little like wedge or chamfer or whatever it's called cut out on this side, not on this side. So it might be used as a like a wedge tool of some sort. So maybe the orientation matters. If there's a mechanism, I bet you that there's a mechanism down there that if you put this in here, it's going to push it. The real question is, does it matter which orientation it is? So I'm just going to try one. Right, so it doesn't do anything. Oh, okay, so it doesn't really do anything. I think that's, oh, got a little stuck when I did that, so let me not push it in. Let's push this in first. I don't feel any give, so I don't know if there's any mechanism there that's actually useful. Oh, now it pushed in. All right, let me see. Ah! It did, and there's where it came out. So there's a big slot there now. So I'm wondering if there's like some sort of catch here that this released. But it definitely came out the other way. And we see this big slot that we saw before, and then we can see that hole in the slot are connected here. So the real question is, what to do next? So, oh, well, here's something interesting. There's like a little piece in there. You can see it's translucent. I'm not sure why he chose not to make it out of the same material, but I'm not sure if in the original puzzle it was a different piece as well, or a different material as well. But this one you can see through it, and you can see that that's a magnet most likely, which is holding it in place. And I could probably try to use my fingernails to get it out, but I think that would be cheating, and I don't want to damage anything. So this might be where this hole, oh, I don't want to make that go back. This hole comes into play, and if I put this in there, I might be able to maybe push that out. And since we have this little chamfer or whatever here, I'm guessing that might be the way. So if I put it in there and push it, no, it's not, well, it's coming out, it's not falling out. I don't think it's cheating to reach in there and get it now. Do you guys think that? No, see, it comes out pretty easily there. I think that was the way to do it. I don't think I cheated. But you guys in the comments, let me know if you think I cheated. If I did, I'm sorry. I think that's the way it's to do it though. So now we have this piece, which interestingly enough and straightforward enough, actually would fit into like that slot very easily. And then there was that other one, this one, it would fit into as well. Well, maybe not. Oh no, it does. Oh, actually, this one fits in better. So if you look at this one, there's like a little bit of like wiggle room back and forth, so maybe it doesn't go in there. Maybe this one goes in sideways too or something. Look, that fits in there. Perfect. So maybe that is, I don't know how that would work, but because there's also a little side one here, and oh, and it goes all the way through. So this little hole here goes all the way through into there. So, and this is the size of that. So there's really no way to push it. Maybe I can push it with this. No. Ah, you know what? If I put this way, where that little wedge is, and then I use this little wedge part, I can probably push that down. It looks like it might be a trap. It's because now it won't budge either way. Nothing's moving now, and this little thing, if I go back the other way. Oh, see, now I can't. And now that piece is in there, so I can't do this again because, uh-oh. I couldn't tell if I had done something wrong or I was just not able to figure out the next step because I couldn't find any other tools. It's not budging other than just going back and forth doing this. And I can't get this out without breaking it because I've tried every way to get that out. So I think that it's not intended for us to do that, and that somehow I've kind of locked the puzzle and there has to be a way to unlock it. So I'm going to have to maybe search to see if anybody else has solved this and see if there's any type of hints. Okay, so I went on the message boards and found that I was not the only one that had this problem. So actually this piece here is in the original puzzle too big for it to fit under or something, and so they said that basically you can modify by sanding this so that you can pull it out if this happens, and then the other tool would come out. And so you could just, because you can see the other tool in there, I just can't get it out because this is keeping it in. And so they said basically that you could use like another tool that you're not supposed to use outside tools, of course, but you could use like a pencil or something to push on that to reset it. So I'm going to grab, all right, let's try this pencil. There's something, let's see. I don't want to draw all over it. Oh, there we go. Oh, whoa, it popped right out. Okay, so we're not going to make that mistake again. So I don't think that that is something that you're supposed to do. It definitely isn't because we just locked the puzzle. So I'm going to try something else, which is what I think my gut kind of told me that this fit better before. So I'm going to try the same thing. Please don't lock on me. I'm going to try the same thing, but with that in there. Oh no, it's locked. Oh wait, I have the tool though now. So maybe I just put it in the wrong way, because you can maybe, did I put it in this way? What did I put it in? Okay, let me just keep track. Okay, this way I have the bevel towards me. Let's see if that does it. Ah, see? Yes! Tried to trick me. Oh, this thing's a little loose. All right, I don't think that's supposed to come out, but it's coming out, but we'll try to fix that later. All right, so now we have this, and so a lot of Juno's puzzles, some of them have prizes in them, but I don't really hear anything in this one. So I'm thinking that it's just going to be like a compartment or something like that. And in the description, I think that's what it says. You find the compartment and you find his maker's mark for this one. So maybe now you can tell that these coming apart, but something is holding them together. It looks like there's a hinge or something there because this side's wiggling, but this side doesn't wiggle. And so I don't see anything in this hole that we can do. Maybe go back to sometimes magnets can like, oh, you know what? Now that it can't get locked, maybe we should try doing what we were doing before with the key going through that way. Because that has to be a thing, because why else would he have a hole that's going through there? Now, I take that back. There are some puzzle creators that are super sly and use red herrings, like D. Dixon does that with some of his puzzles, as well as the late Eric Fuller. Some of his best puzzles threw me off for hours, if not days, because they had red herrings there. So let's see if this one is one of those. Oh, it worked. So there we are. There's the Juno insignia or maker's mark and the little cavity for, I guess you could put a prize in there, but this is what was holding it closed actually. So that's pretty cool. So again, not too complicated, but charming, right? It's charming because I really love the puzzles that look like one thing but end up being another thing. That, I don't know, there's something whimsical about it that really is fun. So let's reset it and then we'll talk more about it. All right, so that was a pretty simple reset. You know, this is actually super fun. You know, it wasn't that expensive. I think it was a couple $100, which, you know, It's more for the experience of being able to solve this Juno puzzle that I've heard so much about and that everybody talks about, but I'll probably never see the actual Juno puzzle. And so I am so happy that I got to at least solve this one and have this one for my collection of Junos. You know, I'm not sure what you guys think about this puzzle. I think it's pretty cute, pretty whimsical, and for a 3D printed puzzle, I don't know. What do you guys think? Tell me what you think. Do you think that was too easy of a puzzle, too easy of a start? I thought it was pretty cool. Anyhow, for those of you who might be able to get your hands on this, I would recommend you do so. It's a lot of fun. But if you can't, or for some reason don't want to, I hope you at least enjoyed solving it through my eyes. And until next time, I'll see you later. Goodbye for now.